Hi, I'm Zeegan George.
And I'm Christina Triptow. And we'll be doing a scene from The Importance of Being Ernest by Oscar Wilde.
I think it has been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, and that is everything. But I must see her before I go and arrange for another bunbury. Ah, there she is.
Oh, I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
He's gone to send the dog cart for me.
Is he going to take you for a nice drive?
He's going to send me away.
Oh, we got to part?
I'm afraid so, and it's a very painful parting indeed.
It is always painful to part from people whom one has known for a very brief space of time. The absence of old friends one can endure with equanimity, or even a momentary separation from anyone to whom one has just been introduced, is almost unbearable.
Oh, Cecily, the dog cart is at the door.
It can wait for 5 minutes.
Cecily, I hope that you shall not be offended if I state quite frankly and openly that you seem to me to be the visible personification of absolute perfection.
I think your frankness does you great credit, Ernest. If you will allow me, I will copy your remarks into my diary.
Is your diary? Do you really keep one? I'd give anything to see it. May I?
Oh, no. You see, it is simply a very young girl's record of her own thoughts and impressions, and consequently meant for publication. When it appears in volume form, I hope you will buy a copy. But pray, Ernest, don't stop. I delight in taking down the dictation. I have reached absolute perfection. You can go on. I am quite ready for more. Oh, don't cough, Ernest. When one is dictating, one should speak fluently and never cough. Besides, I don't know how to spell a cough.
Cecily, ever since I first looked upon your wondrous and incomparable beauty, I have dared to love you wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
I don't think you should say you love me wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly. Hopelessly doesn't seem to make much sense, does it?
Oh, Cecily.
The dog cart is waiting.
Tell it to come around next week, at the same hour.
Uncle Jack will be very much annoyed if you were staying on until next week at the same hour.
Oh, I don't care about Uncle Jack. I don't care for anyone in this whole world except for you. I love you, Cecily. You will marry me, won't you?
You silly you, of course. Why, we've been engaged for the last 3 months.
3 months?
Yes, it'll be exactly 3 months on Thursday.
And how exactly did we become engaged?
Well, ever since dear Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a younger brother who was very wicked and bad, you, of course, formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. And of course, a man who's much talked about is always very attractive. One feels there must be something in him after all. I dare say I was foolish of me, Ernest, but I fell in love with you.
Darling. And when was the engagement actually settled?
On the 14th of February last, worn out by your entire ignorance of my existence, I determined to end the matter one way or the other, and after a long struggle with myself, I accepted you under this dear old tree here. The next day I bought this ring in your name, and this is the little bangle with the true love's knot I promised you always to wear.
Did I buy you this? It's very pretty, isn't it?
Yes, you've wonderfully good taste, Ernest. It's the excuse I've always given you for leaving such bad life. And this is the box in which I keep all your dear letters.
My letters? But, my dear Cecily, I have never written you any letters.
You need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I remember only too well I was forced to write your letters for you. I wrote always 3 times a week, and sometimes oftener.
Oh, do let me read them, Cecily.
Oh, possibly. It would make you far too conceited. The 3 you wrote me after I had broken off the engagement are so beautiful and so badly spelled. Even now I can hardly read them without crying a little.
But was our engagement ever broken off?
Of course it was. On the 22nd of last March. Would you like to read the entry?
Yeah? Today I broke off my engagement with Ernest. I feel it is better to do so. The weather continues charming. But why on earth did you break it off? What had I done? I did nothing at all, Cecily. I am very much hurt indeed to hear that you broke it off. Especially when the weather was so charming.
It would hardly have been a really serious engagement if it hadn't been broken off at least once. But I forgave you before the week was out.
What a perfect little angel you are, Cecily.
You dear romantic boy. I hope your hair curls naturally. Does it?
Yes, with a little help from others.
I am so glad.
You'll never break off our engagement again.
I don't think I could now that I've actually met you. Besides, of course, that is to push mention of your name.
Of course.
You mustn't laugh at me, darling. But it has always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone with the name of Ernest. There is something in that name that seems to inspire absolute confidence. I pity any poor married woman whose husband is not called Ernest.
But, my dear child, do you mean to say that you could not love me if I had some other name?
But what name?
Oh, any name you'd like. Algernon, perhaps.
But I don't like the name of Algernon.
But my darling little angel, I really can't imagine why you shouldn't like the name of Algernon. It's a rather aristocratic name. Why, half the chaps who get into the bankruptcy court have the name of Algernon. But seriously, Cecily, if my name were Algernon, couldn't you love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character. But I fear I should not be able to give you my undivided attention.
Cecily, your rector here, I suppose, is thoroughly experienced in all the rites and ceremonials of the church.
Oh yes, Dr. Tossell is a most learned man. He has never read a single book, so you can imagine how much he knows.
Yes, I must have seen him at once on a most important christening. I mean business.
Oh?
I should be more than half an hour.
Considering that we have been engaged since February the 14th, and that I only met you today for the first time, it seems rather hard that you should leave me for so long a period as half an hour. And couldn't you make it 20 minutes?
I shouldn't be any time at all.
What an impetuous boy he is. I like his hair so